The integral of secant to the 7th power of 4x times tangent of 4x dx. We can start this one out. We can take the 7 secant 4x's that we have, split that into 6 and 1. We maintain all 7 times tangent of 4x dx. The reason I moved one of the secants over to the side is we can use secant as our substitution over here in pink. Its derivative is secant 4x tangent 4x dx times 4, because that's a derivative of your angle. And that accounts for the rest of your integral. So we can make our substitution u to the 6th, dividing both sides by 4, 1/4 du accounts for the rest of that integral. The antiderivative is u to the 7th over 7 times 1/4 is 1 over 28 u to the 7th, replacing u with secant to the secant of 4x plus c, and that's our antiderivative or indefinite integral. On our next example, we have the integral of 5 tangent squared x over secant x dx. Using a reciprocal trig identity and pulling the scalar multiple of 5 out, we have tangent squared of x, 1 over secant is equivalent to cosine x dx. Tangent we can rewrite using a Pythagorean identity of secant squared x minus 1. Secant squared x minus 1, after you distribute cosine x, is secant squared x cosine x minus cosine x. Well, because secant squared is 1 over cosine squared, actually, let's look at it this way. Mentally, think of this as 1 over secant. Secant squared over secant will be secant to the 1st minus cosine x. We still have our scalar multiple of 5 out front. Secant has a pretty rough antiderivative. In class, I showed you guys how to rationalize a numerator, like take this term, multiply it by secant x plus tan x on top and bottom. Anyway, you rationalize using a well-written 1, and when you do that, and I showed you guys in class, long story short, secant, you take the integral, it's 5 natural log of secant x plus tangent x. Cosine x, I brought it over, we save it for the back half, distributing the 5. We're going to get negative 5 sine x plus c. In our third example, we have the integral of tangent cubed x over secant to the 6th x. Sorry, I'll get this still. Secant to the 6th x, we can write that as cosine to the 6th x and write these side by side. Tangent cubed x can be written using a quotient identity of sine cubed x over cosine cubed x. Canceling 3 cosines from top and bottom, that will leave us sine cubed x times cosine cubed x dx. Saving a sine, I'm going to split that into 2 and 1. Sine squared times sine, that's still sine cubed. We didn't lose anything. We didn't gain anything. The reason I want to do that is using a Pythagorean identity, sine squared x can be written as 1 minus cosine squared x. And that gives us the ability to choose a substitution. Specifically, if we let u be cosine of x, its derivative is negative sine x dx, multiplying both sides by a negative. That tells us that sine x dx can be replaced with a negative du. That gives us the integral of cosine cubed. We're going to rewrite that as u cubed. Cosine to the 5th x, that's u to the 5th. The rest of this is negative du. Taking the antiderivatives, we have a negative 1/4 u to the 4th minus 1/6 u to the 6th. Replacing the u's with cosine x, that's negative 1/4 cosine to the 4th x, plus 1/6 cosine to the 6th x, plus our constant of integration. When you split these up, ideally you want to game the system so that you leave enough on the end so that you can get the rest of the problem written as one trig function such that its derivative is the remainder of the integral. In our next example, we have the integral of sine 3x times sine 2x dx. This problem goes back to another trig identity where we use product to sum. We're given the product of sine 3x and sine 2x. Looking up your product to sum formulas, there's one in there where you have sine mx times sine nx. For our problem, m is 3, n is 2. The expansion is 1/2 cosine of the difference in your coefficients times x minus cosine of the sum of your coefficients times x. So what that does for us is this 1/2, I'm going to bring it out. Sine 3x times sine 2x, the difference in those is 1x. The sum of those is 5x. So following the expansion in the bracket, this problem can be rewritten as 1/2 times the integral of cosine x minus cosine 5x dx. Then we can take the half, our antiderivatives are sine 1/5 sine to the 5x. Remember, if you have a multiple angle, its derivative in this case will be 5, and so you rebalance with a 1/5. Distributing 1/2, we have 1/2 sine x minus 1/10 sine 5x plus c, constant of integration. On our next example, we have a definite integral from 0 to pi over 3, tangent squared x dx. Tangent squared x using a Pythagorean identity. See, tangent squared by itself doesn't have a friendly antiderivative. But luckily for us, we can use a Pythagorean identity and rewrite that as secant squared x minus 1. Secant squared has a very friendly antiderivative, tangent. Minus 1, that's a constant, so we'll stick a variable on that, minus 1x. Evaluating at pi over 3 and 0 and taking the difference, we have tangent of pi over 3 minus pi over 3 minus tangent of 0 minus 0. Since tangent of 0 is 0, when we subtract, all this back half goes to 0. Tangent of pi over 3 is square root of 3 minus pi over 3, and we won't try to combine those. That's good enough to get the area, and plus it leaves it as an exact value.